Well, welcome to today's show. Have you ever wished, as a local business, that you could sort of target different areas of town, or perhaps target a big event that's happening in your city, or a large trade show that's happening in another city that's just too expensive for your business to attend? Well, if you've had those questions and you're looking for an answer, we have a solution for you today. We're going to talk about geo-targeted advertising, specifically geo-targeted mobile advertising. If you haven't met me before, my name is Dawn Larson. I'm a business brand specialist with Navigator Marketing and Dealership Marketing. And today we're going to talk about the power of geo-targeted mobile advertising. If you're just joining me live on the video, please leave any comments you have during the broadcast and I'll answer them in real time. And if you're joining us on the replay, please leave your questions in the comment section below and we'll definitely respond to you once the video launches. If you're just joining us right now on the broadcast, today we're going to find the best tool to use to target people in a specific location or, doing some physical activities. So really what geofencing mobile advertising is the ability for an advertiser to direct their advertising to through mobile advertising to a specific location. And what the great part about geofencing and geo-targeted advertising is that it allows companies to really serve their advertising to people based on their physical activities or the places they go. So now we have a tool that allows us to really optimize our ad spend. We're not doing the old spray and pray like we used to do with TV, radio, and print, where you put an ad in and everybody's going to see it and it costs a certain amount of money. This way you are actually targeting people based on their location or their interests or their activities, and you can really specify even the days and times that your ads are shown. This is record breaking for advertising online because no other medium can really offer this. So let's get into what geo-targeted advertising is. So let's give you some examples to really kind of help you understand. So let's say you're a local franchise store. That means that if you're in a city, there's maybe many franchise locations throughout a city. So you only have a certain geographical location you can advertise. If you do radio, if you do print, you have to watch that you're advertising in your certain geographical space. And there's no real other medium that allows you to do that. Really, you have to either partner with your other franchise locations across the city to do radio and TV because it blankets the advertising across the entire city. But if you do geo-targeted advertising, we can, break your sort of area down so that you're advertising either in just a certain area radius around your franchise store, or in certain locations that aren't covered by the other franchises, or people coming from out of town that are coming, say, on the highway or the business areas coming across your franchise. So very powerful tool for franchise owners, because now you have an ability to target and accurately know that you're staying within your targeted radius. So now you don't have to collaborate or compromise in what ad spend you have with a group of the franchises in that city. You can actually then specify your advertising in your geolocation and know to a certainty that that is the area that you're targeting. So great for franchises when you're targeting that area. You can, if you're a business, a retail store, and you only want to target a certain age demographic. So say you're a retailer that deals or services people under 25. You can target universities and colleges, malls. You put a geofencing, sort of like a virtual advertising fence around specific locations or buildings or trade shows. It can be entire cities, and you can then serve your advertising, your mobile advertising, in that area. So it's very powerful. Now, we use it with our car dealerships, for example. If you're a car dealership, you know that your customers or prospects shop around, and you want to make sure you're one of the top 3 dealerships that your prospects are looking at. So we geofence our customers' competitors. So all of the competitors in that city or in other cities are geofenced. And when a prospect passes that geofence location, their mobile device is served up the customer ad, and the ad may say, hey, we want to be your dealership. We're going to offer you an extra $500 off our retail price when you come to us if you say you've seen this ad. And the great part about that is that prospect will see that ad either when they're at that location, or they will then see it at least 7 to 10 times in the next 30 days when they return home, and it will show up on their mobile device. The power of that is that, you know, they're your top of mind. And the great part about it for a dealership is that we can actually geofence the dealership as well. And so if that customer, as a result of seeing your geo-targeted mobile ad, comes into your dealership, then you know that ad really worked. So it's a very powerful tool for dealerships. So let's look at restaurants. Restaurants can use geo-targeted advertising as a loyalty incentive. Somebody comes into your restaurant and you want to make sure that you can get them back in. In the olden days, a year or two ago, you would actually give them a coupon. But now anybody that's in that geofence location can actually subscribe, sign up, or just get easily on a download an offer, a discount offer, or a loyalty offer to join a loyalty club. And how great is that, where you don't have to do a lot of manual work. It's all done and it's all automated. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody on the broadcast today. Thank you, Mia, for coming. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you. David, Fred, and people all the way in the UK. Really appreciate you coming on today. Let's talk about an industrial company. We know that trade shows, international trade shows, or even national trade shows are very expensive. And, sometimes they're running, $10,000 to $50,000 to get to a trade show out of your city. And so even if it's less than that, the amount of work and time and staff that, go into doing a trade show, you can use geo-targeted advertising to actually geofence any trade show. So you can be an industrial, commercial company that isn't going to the Las Vegas trade show, but you can geofence that trade show and all of the buildings, including the hotels that the guests are staying in. And for that timeline, you can serve up your ads on mobile devices, through mobile devices. It's a very powerful way. It's not negatively disruptive in any way. We're used to seeing ads when we look at the Weather Network or Globe and Mail or Angry Birds. Those ads show up, your ads show up when people are in that geofence location. And there's a strong call to action because, when you're designing the advertising for mobile, you're making sure that it's a very compelling visual ad. And it can be moving, it can be partly video, it can be animated movement. But the video or the visual on the mobile ad really compels them to go to your website and keeps you top of mind. So at a trade show, an industrial trade show, if you're actually there, your ad could remind them to go to your booth number. If you're not at the physical trade show, it reminds them to download a white paper or to go to your website to get some information about something that that they'll be looking for at the trade show. It is a very, very powerful tool for industrial, commercial companies to use because you can be in so many different places and be so powerful with your message. So last example I'm going to talk about is a retail store. There's several times through the year that you may not be attached to the big malls where they're getting millions of people throughout a big season like Christmas or Mother's Day, but you can still capitalize on that volume of traffic. You can target and geofence those malls and big store facilities like Costco, and you could serve up your advertising to those people. So say you had gift certificates for your retail store, you could definitely serve up those ads to people entering those malls and big shopping stores. So how powerful is that you didn't, as a small business, have the power to harness the attention of those millions of shoppers before in that mall space, and now you do with the geo-targeting mobile advertising. So those are some examples. You can also target neighborhoods. So, if you are a car dealership and you're looking at the subprime market, you can advertise one message to this neighborhood and a different message to a different neighborhood. It's a very powerful tool. If you are, up on your data and you know where your biggest amount of prospects are in a certain area of the city, you can then target that neighborhood with a specific message. Now, here's where it's really important to understand, because there's a lot of people, especially radio and TV and third-party suppliers, they'll say, we can sell that to you, we can sell GeoMobile. But here's the difference. When you get, say, a marketing agency or a web agency to help you, we put coding on your website, and that coding then actually analyzes where people land on your website. So let's use a car dealership, for example. Your GeoMobile ad was at a competitor's, a geofenced a competitor, and a person came to your website as a result of seeing your ad. And the software that we place on your website actually tells you what pages that web prospect was looking at. And immediately we can remarket an ad to those people based on what they were looking at on your website. So if they were on a dealership website and they were looking at SUVs, they will start to see ads with your SUVs for the next 30 days. So that's the difference and the power of geo-targeted mobile advertising is, yes, we can then target a location, drive people to your website, but now the other power is adding some coding onto your website, where now we can track where the web visitors from that ad went on your website and then remarket some specific advertising targeted to their needs and where they were visiting on your website. So incredible powerful tool that we have at our disposal now as small businesses, mid-sized businesses, and industrial corporations. So let's talk about how GeoMobile advertising works, okay? So first of all, as an advertiser, we create a really strong, compelling visual ad for your prospects, and it's targeted. We make several different kinds. So if you're at one kind of dealership, you may, and say you're a used car dealership, then we can, say, hey, we've got Nissan trucks as well. Come and see us, and make them an offer. If you're a retail store, you can then offer a specific offer to them, or give them a discount for coming into your store if they mention your mobile ad. So very powerful. So we create a very compelling ad that's targeted at different demographics. Then we work to geofence, meaning that we map out in our software where we're going to put some geofencing around different locations or businesses or city locations. And we serve up those ads, and we pick the dates, the times. We can actually day stamp that so that there's certain times of the day that your ads are not being served, where you're maybe not open and things like that. And then we create the ads for that time period, and we serve out those ads. Again, there's lots of tracking and analytics involved with geofencing, which is very incredible, because you can really see how many people have come to your website from seeing the ad that was geofenced over a competitor's, and we can break it down by the competitor location to see, and then you can see how many people return to your website again as a result, or actually came to your physical business. And so when a prospect goes into the competitor's dealership, or they go into the mall that's geofenced, your mobile ad will be displayed on their phone. And they don't have to have their phone on at the time, but when they do have their phone on, your ad will be served. And it will be served 7 to 10 times during the next 30 days. And we can determine the frequency of that. So how powerful is that? So then when they've seen it, if they click through to the website, then, obviously we'll remarket with a different format of ad. If they don't go to your website at that time, they will see that ad that you served to them a couple more times, up to 7 to 10 times throughout the next 30 days, keeping you at the top of the mind when they're at the more critical time in the sales cycle, like when they're at competitors, or when they're in the mall shopping, or when they're at that trade show. They're in the mindset where you want to get your advertising in front of them because they're in the take action mode. So, again, that's really as simple as it is. And so now the power is having the remarketing process where we can actually then remarket a different message based on their actions on your website. So now you have a way of tracking people and really marketing to the right audience. A great way to maximize your ad spend, to make sure that your ads are getting to the people that you want, and a very powerful tool to very easily track how well your ads are doing. So who does this work for? Well, I've given you some really good examples of who geofencing really works for. It's like dealerships and retail stores and franchise stores and big corporations and service-based industries where you want to target, say you are only working with accountants, you can target accounting trade shows, you can target events. It's really powerful in targeting neighborhoods based on say real estate. What I really like using it for is real estate agents as well, because you're selling a house and now you can either market to a certain segment of the community, or you can actually spread your advertising in that location so that you can say, we're selling this house, if you're interested we can sell yours. There's just incredible amounts of opportunities for this, and it's so much better than a billboard, than a print advertising or radio, where you don't know if anybody actually has received your message, and you definitely don't know if they've acted on it. Here, when you use any kind of digital advertising, you have analytics, you have tracking, you have the ability to know if they actually came to your location. Anyway, I have a great resource for you today if you're interested. It's a tip sheet on how to use geo-targeted advertising. So if you're interested in this, just click the link below in the comment section and we'll send it to you. But geofencing, geo-targeted advertising using mobile ads is a very powerful tool that you need to have in your marketing mix in the next year. The stats are that 78% of people who see an ad on their mobile phone go visit that business within 3 to 5 days. And there's a stat that shows that 55% of the people who saw the ad and went to the location made a purchase soon after. So if you have a set marketing budget and you want to get the best power for your spend, geo-targeted advertising is definitely one option for you. I hope you liked the show today. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section below. And again, we go live every Thursday at noon. Again, if you have any questions for next week's broadcast, please leave them in the comments and we can definitely respond to those in a video. My name is Dawn Larson. I hope you enjoyed today. For Navigator Marketing and Dealership Marketing, today, Geofence mobile advertising. We'll hope you use it. We'll talk to you again.